Welcome to episode 19 of the Mesh Tongue. This is Brian Boyle here. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about some of runner's anatomy. And this may be a little bit different though, because we're not going to talk about the legs. We're not going to talk about the hip, the knee, the ankle. We're going to talk about the upper body and why the upper body is so important. And I got my Q-Flex here, and this is, if you haven't seen one of these things, this is an acupressure tool that you might have seen it on Shark Tank. They've really been advertising this. And if you hear some crazies in the background, that's my boys, but it is what it is. So this thing, I want to talk to you about the upper body and why the upper body is so important. So when we think about the upper body and runner's anatomy, we're thinking about kind of the forward lean and the arm pump. Okay, a lot of times what will end up happening is the pec minor, which comes down from the coracoid process, or the top of the shoulder blade. All right, it's going to come down across the rib cage. It's going to go into ribs 4, 5, and 6. If you sit at a computer, or if you're texting and typing and have poor posture, and then you go and run, this is probably already tight. What you'll notice is that the shoulder sits a little bit more forward. The shoulder blade is going to be tipped or kind of leaning forward. What's going to end up happening is you're going to start getting tightness in the neck muscles. Okay, why this is all important is as the neck muscles become tight, you're going to start getting headaches. But what it really does to runners is it closes off the airway, because as you go into this cervical extension, okay, the neck's extended back here, you really start kind of stretching through here, and you're going to form this concave posture of the rib cage, which is going to start restricting the lung capacity and all sorts of things. So one of the ways that we can reduce that, okay, is to take care of the muscle knots that will develop in the back here. So taking something like the Q-Flex, or there's the Theracane. Trust me, if I'd filmed this 10 years ago, I would have just told you about the Theracane. This thing's pretty new on the market. The reason I like it is because it's bendable, okay? So you can actually change the pressure. It's got a pressure point here on the tip. Okay, so it's not just a ball. You can get into those muscle knots. And what I like to do is some people will call like an active release. There's all sorts of trademarks you get into with those sorts of things. The reality is a pin and stretch kind of movement where you hold that muscle, you hold the pressure, and then you can start by looking away. Okay, so you can see I've got the pressure point into those muscles. I'm looking away, and I'm gonna just hold that just nice and slow. And so I'm pinning the muscle underneath the pressure point with the tip there. And then what I'm doing is I'm literally just looking down and away. So I'm taking that muscle onto a stretch and then relaxing. And I can do that however long I need to until I feel that muscle just give way. Then I can move to the next point, and I can do the same thing, just kind of looking away. If it's on my right side, you're looking at this on my right side, I'm going to look down to my left knee. I can go straight down. Again, just depends on where I'm at in that pressure point. I can switch to the other side. I can actually come in here and I can hit some of these muscle knots in the pec. Okay, so I can kind of, again, just going to get in here and use this pressure to try and release. All right, sometimes I'll do this where I'm laying down on a towel that's going from my head down to my spine, vertical, okay, so that I'm opening up the chest wall there. But the reality is that you got to get out of this posture in order to open up the airway, in order to open up the upper chest, and to actually increase your efficiency in your breathing. In one of the future episodes, I'll talk about belly breathing and different types of breathing. But today I wanted to talk to you about something like this, the Q-Flex. Very simple. I can keep this in my closet. You can keep this at your desk. And again, if you're sitting at a computer and then also going running, chances are you're really, really tight. So you want to work the front chest wall here. Another thing that I see that a lot of people don't do is they'll put the heating pad on their back. In reality, if you have a heating pad, the reality is that the heating pad may be better placed on the chest because it'll open up through here. Okay, so a lot of people don't do that. That's one of the big takeaway tips for today. If you have a heating pad, maybe try putting it on the chest to loosen this up. You can do things like doorway stretch, stretching into a doorway to open up here as well. But taking something like this where you put the acupressure in there to help loosen up all of those neck muscles, the upper back muscles, You go a long way to helping your running. So, hey, this is Brian Boyle. Hopefully you found value in this. This is episode 19 of the Mesh Tongue. Keep those questions and comments coming in. Email me at brian@company5, the number 5k.com. And as always, check out runpainless.com. Appreciate all the support. Thanks, and hey, have a great night. And don't forget, don't go hurting yourself to come back. All right, thanks.